What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Man-Made Thoughts, and this is part 2 of 3 for Superman, Lois and Clark. Okay, so the last time we left off, we were talking about how SS Segovia, the artist of this page, that his Superman suit, while this panel is, or not even panel, this cover is really, really cool, but it's not indicative of anything. Like, Superman doesn't fight against any of the shadow monsters or Carnage or anything in this book, but it looks really cool. But I was talking about how his suit is inaccurate because the cover of this graphic novel is different than the actual suit that he's wearing, and even the interiors of the book are different than this cover. So it's not bad, you know. It looks cool though. Anyway, so we enter the story. We have Superman facing off on a new villain, because the story of this whole thing is that this is the road to rebirth, which means was the Superman that nobody liked from the DC New 52. Nobody liked him. So what they ended up doing was they had to find a clever way to kill him off. And they ended up having to bring a classic Superman from pre-New 52 into this world. And he's never seen Blank before. Blank's a brand new villain that he's an anarchist. He just likes destruction, and he likes it to be a masterpiece when he destructs. I mean, look at this. A bit short of a masterpiece, perhaps. That is yet to come. So anyway, you know, he just decides he wants to make this sign population 0. Superman comes out of nowhere looking all cool and tough. And this is the past, by the way. So they end up fighting, and Superman is going to kill him. I mean, because that's really all he can think of. If there's one thing Superman doesn't like, it's telepaths, because Superman's kind of a brawler, in case you didn't know. He might have a couple of ranged attacks, like some powerful breath and eye lasers. But other than that, he can't extend himself. He can't stretch. And there's not much he can really do against a telepath. They have the same problem in My Hero Academia. But anyway, him being a brawler, he can't figure this stuff out. So what he does is he takes him up into space, and he's going to kill him by suffocating him. But Superman's not that guy. So what he ends up doing is he just imprisons him. So we get back to, present day in this world where Superman's going home, and they're talking about, should we tell John and all this stuff, or should we not? And they're pretty much like, no, we're not going to tell him. Because, if you watch the last video, they got into like a carjacking, and Clark had to, reveal himself by doing certain things that Superman would do, following the car and all that stuff. And he actually helped him. But yeah, it's pretty much like John kind of figuring out that his dad is doing stuff, but not really. Anyway, we go back. Superman's going back to the new Fortress of Solitude, which is the New 52. Well, it's not really the New 52s. It's just, he just has a Fortress of Solitude that he goes to, that he made. And, it's kind of sparse. He even talks about that. This guy down here, Hank Henshaw, you should know who Hank Henshaw is, because Dan Jurgens wrote this. And Dan Jurgens also was the mastermind behind, the death of Superman. So, and then, the return of Superman, well, the reign of Superman, then the return of Superman. And one of the Superman was Hank Henshaw, who was Cyborg Superman, who was, he was no joke. And so he's in this world. Superman's really afraid of him, because he's afraid he'll become Cyborg Superman, which, spoiler alert, this is a story from 2017. He does. But this is before Rebirth. Rebirth, amazing. It was a very, very good run. But anyway, we find out that Superman is locked up, Blank, but Blank finds out how to use his telepathy, telekinesis, whichever it is, He uses it to get Hank to let him out, and then they begin a reign of let's just fook up Superman's whole hideout. Anyway, this is just typical Dan Jurgens talk. Nobody actually talks like this in real life, which is actually why it's cool, because Dan Jurgens writes like a comic book villain should talk. They shouldn't talk like real people. And we're getting some more of that backstory on this artifact that the High Priestess is actually looking for. Okay. Basically, this issue right here, Clark and Lois decide to go to the new Metropolis, and they explain how he got the black suit. The black suit was a gift from Lois's dad, and yeah, she got to basically use the perks of her having the same last name as this Lois in this world, and use that to finagle a suit that's made from something. Anyway, she's also doing some investigative work, and her and John get into some trouble. And she tries to go meet her connect, but the Intergang, they're following her and all this stuff. This is very comic booky. The whole setup is comic booky, and even like none of this stuff really is plausible at all, which is what I love. I love when comic books are comic books. But anyway, Superman's doing his thing across the world again, goes back to his Fortress of Solitude, because what ended up happening was, well, I just got to say, this page right here just looks weird to me, because the artist, he basically drew Dave Navarro and put him in a Superman suit. You can't tell me that's not Dave Navarro. I would not believe you if you said it wasn't. Anyway, he's also not very good at action scenes. He's good at posing, because you can there's a lot of dynamic poses, but not a lot of action. Like, this is like a post thought. This is afterthought type of stuff, where you drew a picture and you're like, man, how do I convey the sense of movement? I got it. I'll make a swoosh. So. And he also uses 3D models, which you'll see for a bit. And some of the facial poses are just a little bit more absurd than they should be. But anyway, it's a pretty cool scene. Superman's getting worked. He gets tossed out of the Fortress of Solitude, and then a mountain tossed on top of him. And Blank's like, "Come, Hank, we've got work to do. Let's get to California." So this is good, because we established that Batman suspects something, because Clark really wants to tell this Batman over here in this New 52, which for some reason this New 52 Batman was kind of doing his own thing. This rebirth Batman was kind of just chilling. They kind of left him alone, because Scott Snyder was doing his own thing with this Batman, but he wanted to tell him Batman was probably going to die. I don't know if he was, because you could see that a ninja, for whatever reason, Dan Jurgens, whenever you don't know how to do something or you can't think of anything, just put some improbable ninjas. I mean, Daredevil did it. But they fire an arrow at him. Clark was watching from the sidelines. He melts the arrow, and that's when Batman is like, "Oh, there must be somebody here." Anyway, it's John's 5th birthday, and they're celebrating. Anyway, tough guy dialogue from Superman. It's more shonen stuff, like, "I cannot let myself be defeated ever." So, and Blank he's pretty much just like, "Hey, we're gonna go to California and we're gonna fly a ship." And Hank's like, "Do I know how to fly a ship?" And he's like, "Yeah, you do now." And so he's gonna mind control him to get in the ship. But Superman, like, remember what I said about these facial poses? Like, this is clearly a 3D model, because this face is not. It's too extreme for what she's actually saying, and some of the stuff is just kind of weird. Some of the posing. Like this face, at least it's not Greg Land, because Greg Land, this would have been a porno face, because it's Clark, like it's wonky. I got a 10-minute time limit, so I'm gonna flip through this, but yeah, we're still continuing here. But yeah, that's that's pretty much it. There'll be a part